All right, so before we get started, how about that big thumbs up? Now, what did I make for you today? Stick around and find out. Here's the intro.
The singing crafty crafter living in Mexico. Today's challenge, create 5 items for under $5. Let's create la la.
On a hill far away stood an old rugged cross, the emblem of suffering and shame. And I love that old cross where the dearest and best for a world of lost sinners was slain. So I'll cherish the old rugged cross till my trophies at last I lay down. I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown. Doesn't that take you back? Hi guys, welcome to the Singing Crafty Crafter. So, can you guess that today's theme might be Easter based on that song? It is. All right, don't forget to stick around in this video somewhere in here. I'm going to give you a little trivia about that song, but let's get right into what today is. Today is a challenge day, of course. It's the 5 for 5, which you should have already seen in the intro. And don't forget to go down and check out Emily's channel down below and White Sparrow Living. Oh my gosh, I'm sitting here. Guys, by the way, I still have this horrible cold. Horrible cold. But before I forget, yeah, White Sparrow Living. I had it right. Amy, there you go. Anyway, the cold is still sticking around. I cannot shake it. I've had it for like 2 weeks now. Not even a cold. It definitely was an infection of some kind. Anyway, hey, so I look a mess because we're doing some packing here, and that's all I'm going to say. So keep an eye out on my channel. I'll be releasing some information shortly about big changes for Marcus and Amy. All right, let's get right into this. It's the 5 for under 5. So the theme was Easter decor. And basically mine could pretty much be tiered trade. But I can't really make anything big here. I mean, I'm still, in Mexico and dealing with trash and whatnot. But I think I made some really cute things. I'm not even going to show you. Just watch. I'll come back and say goodbye at the end. All right, this is a jar. Actually, I think it was pesto in the jar, but anyway, it's just a perfect size to be the base for that bunny head you see there off to the right. But I had to sand it so that I could paint it because it had a finish on it. So I'm going to paint the outside edge and then just right inside the top there because I don't need to paint the middle part because I'm going to glue this down and I want the glue to adhere. That's E6000, which I found here in Mexico. Gluing down my bunny head after my paint dries, of course. This is super simple. I'm going to take a little bow here, which came off of a Jack's little collar thing. I mean, he ruined it, so then I had the bow. But so it's going on the bunny. How cute is that? And we're going to fill it with skillets, and this thing is done. And it's so easy, so cute. It's just pairing up the right things together.
Love to my besties, see you soon.
This is a piece of wood that I brought back from Dollar Tree when I was in America a couple weeks ago. So I'm just going to do a painting technique on this, which is just I've put Vaseline on the wood and then I whitewashed it basically. And then I'm cutting my cross here and I'm just damaging the wood that was like this little skewer kind of thing. And I glued it, put it off to the side. So now that I've Vaselined, whitewashed, coffee stained, I did some sanding, then I go back over it with coffee stain, and then I put heavy coffee stain on the edges, and that just gives me that finished look there. Just a different technique of just giving it like this really distressed multi-layers of color there. Then on my cross you saw I did a watered down stain on it. Now I'm cutting out numbers because I'm going to do 1, a 3, and a 4. So this is just a little trick. I had these scrapbook numbers and I just cut out the portion, you peel the number out of there, put it down, and use that as my template. And then I'm going to glue down my cross, one cross, and then my 3 nails. So just 1, 2, 3 using some, this is the Mexico 5000. And then I'm just going to really pop my numbers there by just slightly outlining them with a fine black marker. And then there's my equal line. And there's my 4. And now I'm going to do the reverse. I've put down the ever, forever. I'm outlining it, and then I'm going to go back in and color it. So there's 2 different ways that you can use stickered letters. And you don't have to use the stickers, but you can use them as your, what's the word, template, yeah, anyway, you get what I'm saying. And then I'm just going to color those in. And then I'm going to take that same, this is an acrylic marker, I'm going to just slightly outline, and then I'm going to go over it also on the edges with just the little black highlight there. You guys would be amazed in person how much that makes it pop. Actually, you can see it here, how it's just outlining the sign does that. Now we're going to add some flowers, and I have these beautiful, they're very real looking floral stickers, and that's it. I love this sign. All right, this is a cross it's going to be, and I'm using clothespins. Don't worry about the colors because it's all going to get painted. I'm going to let you watch me glue this all together and paint it and distress it. But while you're watching that, how about a little music trivia? All right, the Old Rugged Cross, a popular hymn. It was written in 1912 by American evangelist and song leader George Bernard. Now, George was a native of Ohio, but he was reared in Iowa. I love Iowa. After his conversion in a Salvation Army meeting, he and his wife became brigade leaders. And then later on, they left and went on to the Methodist Church. Now, as a Methodist evangelist, Bernard wrote the first verse of the Old Rugged Cross in Michigan in the fall of 1912. And it was a response to a ridicule that he received at a revival meeting. Now, he traveled around with his wife from Chicago to Wisconsin, and between December of 1912 and January of 1913, he finished writing the song. So he often said it was written in 1913. All right, but anyway, it was performed on June 7th in 1913 by a choir of 5, and it was published in 1915. Now, some of his campaign staff, Homer Rodeheaver, and bought the rights to the song for like $50 to $500. They're not sure. I'm going to guess it was $50 back then. And him and Virginia Asher were perhaps the first to record it in 1921. But here's the thing. The Old Rugged Cross has been a country gospel favorite ever since it became the title song of Ernest Tubbs' 1952 gospel album. And that's what I know about the Old Rugged Cross.
Love to my besties, see you soon. Oh, do the lose it, won't go low. Do the lose it, rude to do. Don't forget the thumbs up. Love to my besties, see you soon.
All right, this is a piece of styrofoam that I cut out, and I sealed it with white glue just to make sure that it was nice and stiff when I stuck in my toothpicks. Now, I initially put my toothpicks in with a little bit more distance between them. You'll see in the end I fill that in. This is a piece of cardboard that was white, and I cut that out and glued it to the bottom so that it would be a finished bottom. And then I'm taking jute twine, which I brought back from America, and I'm going to wrap the base of this. It's going to be a basket. So we're going to go all the way around, really carefully making sure that we cover up that seam there on the bottom where the cardboard met the styrofoam. And then I can, as you can see here, I filled that in with more toothpicks. And now once I wrapped the whole styrofoam up, then I started weaving once I got to these toothpicks in there. And it's just in every other, like behind and front, and you go all the way around. It takes a little bit of time, and I was making sure that my jute twine was very taut. And once I got to the top, I'm going to cut it off, and I'm just going to glue it into the inside there. And now we're very carefully, after we glue that down, oh, we got some extra glue. We're going to very carefully remove the tips of these toothpicks. Now, I'm really happy. This actually came out very even, and I was concerned as I was weaving because some of your jute twine can be thicker in areas and so on and so forth, but I did actually manage to get it pretty darn even, which I'm happy about. So now I'm going to clip off the very tops there, and then I have to go back really quickly and pop hot glue on them to hold it all in. I messed up at one point, but we wove it over it, and re-wove it. Anyway, and then I just top it with glue. Now I have to go back down to the bottom and just put a couple more runs of that jute twine just to finish off where we started the weave to give it a nice clean finish down there. And then I had a paper bag, there it is, and the handle of it is thicker, and I'm going to use that just to trim the very top of this. And also on the very inside I'm going to put jute twine, and that's going to totally cover up the top of our toothpick sticks and finish this off nicely. And then I just bring it together right there in the front, and again I'm going to add a jute twine right there in the inside of it, and that just, it perfectly covers it. Okay, now I get to this point and I'm like, all right, I need to put a handle on my little Easter basket here, right? And I thought about like painting it white and all that. In the end I left it this jute twine because straight jute color because I thought it looked nice. Oh, I do burn off all of my whimsies, right? The wispies. Whimsies, wispies. All right, now I had a piece of wire that had some beads on it from some other thing that I purchased, and so I just took that and I'm remaking this the way I wanted to. I took just the white beads off this thing, and I'm going to put 3 in the center and give it a loop-de-loop. We're making a handle, and then I'm going to loop-de-loop it on the other side, and we're going to put a bead at the right where it meets the basket. So I'm going to put a little bend in this. You'll see. And then I used a bottle there to give it a good round. And then I just, see that? I like bend it in, put the bead on, and then I'm just going to hot glue it in. And the end of the wire is sort of tucked into the weaving on the basket. So it was perfect. And then you have this cute little handle on it. Well, I had a couple of extra white beads, and so I thought, well, I will just take some jute twine and make a little decorative bow with some beads hanging off it on the front of my basket, and that's exactly what I did. I think this came out so cute, and there's my little bow with beads on it. And then I did take some coconut fiber stuff and put it in there. I don't have any grass or anything, so that was the closest I could find. Anyway, I think this came out great. Hope you like it too.
Love to my besties, see you soon. Whoa, do the lose it, won't go low. Do the lose it, rude to do. Don't forget the thumbs up. Love to my besties, see you soon.
All right, I have some eggs that I blew them out, so I just have the shells, and I washed them and dried them and all that stuff. But then I put just some you know, what do they call that stuff? Wall compound stuff, and just sort of filled in the tops on the top and the bottom. And now these are my acrylic markers that I just recently got. They're so cool. And so I decided to use them, and I'm just doing like a random sort of just a pattern here, and I'm going to color it in with really bright colors. Obviously, you're going to see that here. Love these. They are so cool. Now, I could have finished these off with like a glossy Mod Podge over them. I didn't. I suppose if I was going to keep them long term for, you know, bring out every year's decoration, I would do that, just as an FYI. Okay, and then the second one, I think I just took it and did like polka dots on it and so on and so forth. But see, that's really bright and cool. So I'm going to let you just sort of watch me decorate these up, just have some fun with these markers. I really love how this came out. And this would be a great craft to do with like grandkids. I think they would have a hoot. Now, you might have to blow out the eggshells, but it is a really cool way to make a lasting Easter decoration. And you get to use the insides because, of course, after you blow them out, you can scramble them up or use them to make some cookies or anything fun like that. Anyway, I had a great time doing this, so I hope you're enjoying these 5 for under 5s. Please make sure you tell me which one is your favorite. All right, guys, I'm going to be back to sign off.
Love to my besties, see you soon. Whoa, do the lose it, won't go low. Do the lose it, rude to do. Don't forget the thumbs up. Love to my besties, see you soon. See you soon. Love to my besties, see you soon. Whoa, do the lose it, won't go low. Do the lose it, rude to do. Don't forget the thumbs up. Love to my besties, see you soon. See you soon. Love to my besties, see you soon.
All right, so what did you think, and which one was your favorite? Do you have a favorite? You like the basket? Oh, that's good. Okay, so I absolutely love this. I'm actually giving it away. I just think it's so cute, and it was so simple, right? You guys saw that. So simple. You could put jelly beans in here. I couldn't find jelly beans. Maybe they don't have jelly beans in Mexico. Now that I think about it, I haven't. Anyway, so I grabbed Skittles because I thought that was, and there was the green Skittles was matched the bow tie. Yeah, the bow tie, which was from one of Jax's collar things. Anyway, okay. And then we've all seen this on, you know, the Pinterest and everywhere, but this is just my own little spin on it. I really love this. I'm going to be keeping this. And then, of course, I don't remember what order these were in, but the clothespin, also Pinterest inspired. But what I did different, and I think you guys, so by painting it the really dark colors and then whitewashing it, it really pops your inside. Okay, you see that? You could do it the reverse too. You could paint the light in the inside and the dark on the outside. But anyway, really wanted to cover everything, which is why I chose to do the really dark purple first. But I do like this. It's very simple. It would also make a really cool ornament if I put something to hang it with. And then the basket. Marcus was so impressed. He's like, wait, what? Yeah. And I was like, no, totally. Anyway. And they're the toothpicks that he saved me from his Bloody Mary things. Anyway. So I just love how this turned out. Absolutely love it. Now, like I said in there, I ended up moving the toothpicks closer together. First time I'd done this, and of course that was the way to go. But and he said, it looks like a hot air balloon basket. I go, yes, it does. Because the way I decided to do mine by putting that foam on the base, I don't know, you saw how I did it. But anyway, I think it's super, super cute, my little Easter basket. And then these. Now, there's lots of ways to do eggshells. And obviously I didn't film me blowing these out, but you know, you just you push a pen through both sides and bubble. One of the tricks, by the way, is to put your pen in the bottom and shake it to break the yolk so the yolk comes out easier. All right, and then I scrambled my eggs up. They were very good. But I wanted to use my brand new acrylic markers, and so that's why I chose to do these like this. But I'm thinking next year, I might do some more of the blown eggshells and show you guys. I might do a video on different ways that you can permanently decorate blown eggs and have beautiful decor pieces, because you can decoupage these. You can use all kinds of paints and different mediums to decorate them with, and I think that'd be so much fun. I didn't have a lot of those things here because I'm in Mexico with limited art supplies, but because I had bought those acrylic markers, I did that. All right, which one was your favorite? Don't forget, go down and check out the playlist down below. Please, you know, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I don't even like saying that. You know, sometimes I feel like if I say, please subscribe, then you get subscribers who aren't ever going to come back. So it's not always about the numbers that you have. It's about the loyal followers that you have. And I love my besties. Thank you so much. Effingham. I love you, besties. Yes, he does. All right. So everybody, have a great day, great week, a great life. And just a little preemptive warning here. You probably are not going to get a video from me for about 2 weeks. But pay attention in the next week or so for an announcement. Probably on my community page. Okay. Love you, besties. Take a guess down below what you think my big surprise is. All right. We'll see you soon. Doodles.
La 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 la. Thanks for watching. Don't forget the thumbs up. Love to my bestie. See you soon. Don't do lose it. What don't down do lose it. Want to do. Love to my besties. See you soon.